Welcome back to VOLIBEAR EXPLAINed. We're going to talk about Divine Sunderer, the mythic item that gives Volibear the strongest bite. The champ difference there, buddy. Ooh! You see that bite? Oh. There's no way, boy. There's no way. I'm bringing back the frenzy of the old days. Divine. Let me explain how it works on the Volibear. Physical damage, which is Q and W and his ult. Now his Q and W is the main combo. Divine has physical damage, attack damage, and health, okay? His W scales off damage and health. So it's dealing physical damage with the combination of AD and health. Okay? And when he's low on health, he's going to heal the most with his bite, which is the second mark. I'm going to show you. First mark. Okay, we got it marked. You got the animation there. And then you get the second mark, which is the bite. Okay? Let me explain this even better. Okay, so he's low on health. So watch the healing. Okay, so he heals the most the lower his health is. The higher it is, the less he heals. Okay? So with Divine, if you read the passive here, Spellblade, after using an ability, your next attack is enhanced with an additional 12% target max health physical damage. If the target is a champion, restore 65% of the enhanced damage. Okay? So you're restoring your health based on that damage. And from what you read here, after using an ability, your next attack, alright? So Q and W are attacks, okay? On hit effects. So when you do your combo, you're activating that next attack, enhanced damage, which will be your W, okay? And then when you go to use it again, you're applying more damage. Usually with your autos, in combination of your attack abilities. Okay? So you're dealing quite a bit of damage with your Q and W in a combo. Okay? So you're getting all that physical damage on this, and then you're getting the enhanced W marked, which does a lot. And then the W even more, especially when they're low. You're going to execute your target. It's almost like the old Frenzy Volibear, except for the bite power on the old Volibear was much stronger. You could literally build a Giant's Belt and chomp. With Divine, you know, it costs more. You have both working this in the same way. You have health and physical damage working together to get the most out of that damage. Versus the past Volite scaled on just health. So he would just easily take, you know, a Giant's Belt or a Warmog and, you know, chomp the heck out of them. So this is somewhat the same feeling, especially when you can get them low enough in a combo like that, and you can execute them pretty easy. The more physical damage, the more health you feed the W. Alright, now, since we're talking about percent health, Titanic is really good with Divine. As you know in my other video about Titanic, Titanic is one of those well-rounded items that can go with almost any build. And the reason being is because it scales off health. The more health you give it, the more physical damage you're going to deal with your autos and your abilities. Okay? So you're actually dealing more damage with your autos, and the fact that Q and W are also attacks, you're dealing quite a bit in a combination with the Q and W, because the shockwave applies with the autos as well as these attack abilities. So in combination of Divine percent health damage, you're going to deal quite a bit to a single target, and not only that, you're going to get that AoE damage as well. Alright. You get that shockwave damage from Titanic. You're focused on the single target at the same time to execute that target and move on to the next one that's already halfway or possibly lower in health because of your AoE damage from Titanic and your passive hitting them. And not to mention, you got more AoE damage from your E and then your ult. Okay, so that's a lot of AoE damage. Alright? So that's how that works with percent health in that combination. Alright, now I have Sterak and Hullbreaker. The triple Phage is what I like to call it. The Phage Stacker. Basically, it's nothing but physical damage and health. AD and health, that's all it is. You're feeding that W. And that's what Divine specializes at, is you're getting the most out of that W. As you are with the physical damage of Q and R, you're getting the most out of it with the W. Because of the enhanced damage, but not only that, you're restoring health in combination with your W heal. So that's why it's so powerful with the W. It's a lot of damage on that in one single combo. Okay? They literally melted this dummy here. Look at that damage, 600 and something. And if you read here, you can see the math here is quite a bit. Okay? Take a look at his ult. He does quite a bit with his ult. So in one combo, it's a lot. And the reason why Divine is so good is because you're dealing percent health. Okay? Of the target. Of the target max health. 12% of that. So it's quite a bit in a combo of Q, W, and R. Alright, Max Pen with the Grudge and Black Cleaver on top of Divine. You're going to get more penetration on the Q and the W as well as the ult. Great against tanks. Sterak and Zanya's Lifeline Stasis. So basically how it works is you can receive the shield under the stasis, and then after the stasis expires, you still have the shield for about a second. And if your allies are behind you, with your ability to run and dive and press the stasis, you're buying them time to catch up while they blow their stuff on you. And then when you get the shield after the stasis, it just gives you a little bit more of a stretch time to survive on top of the lifeline. Sterak and Titanic. One of the best routes you can build, utilizing the percent health damage, and Titanic scaling off all the health that you have, and the lifeline from Sterak. You're going to get the most out of the Q and W combination, especially W, with all of that health, physical damage being applied. Now instead of Sterak, Hullbreaker could be a good option for split, while Sterak is more for a team fight, as you utilizing the lifeline and the combination with the shield. So the Hullbreaker and Titanic combination, you can break towers with this, utilize the Baron buff in combination on the minions, and Divine percent health damage to more of a tankier matchup like Garen and Ornn. Movement speed path. Deadman's Force of Nature gives you that balance of armor and MR. It just allows you to quickly chase down your target. When you apply the W, it's going to allow you to stick to that target to apply the second W bite. It's really good anti-kite option. Thornmail and Spirit. So you get the anti-heal from this, applying the 60% grievous wounds every time you Q. In combination of all this physical damage you're dealing, it can be a pretty nasty combo. On top of the restoration you get from this, plus the W with the Spirit is going to increase that healing, as well as your shield from your E. So as far as creativity with item selection of what you want to use, this is an example of the classic teamfight combination I showed you with the Sterak and Zanyas, and, the Titanic. But with Nashers, you feed in the Nashers passive with the AP. So when you get like Baron or Soul, which gives you increased damage and AP, you feed in that passive and even more physical damage to your target, as well as to towers when you ult. So the ult, takes AP and AD, converts it to physical damage. In this option, instead of the Sterak and Zanyas, you can go to Hullbreaker, Cosmic Drive. This is more of a split push route. Cosmic grants you movement speed, ability haste, loss of ability haste, and ability power. So it's really good for Nashers. And with the Baron buff combination with the Hullbreaker and the Nashers increased AP with the passive, it's just a really good combination that you can run. Max percent health damage. So all three of these items are based on percent health. So this is of the targets, Demonic is of the target, and Titanic. Basically, Demonic is you're burning enemies with your abilities for 4 seconds of their health. And you're scaling AP off your bonus health. So 2% of your bonus health as ability power. So you're gaining all the AP, so you're going to utilize that armor and magic penetration off the demonic. Just gives you a lot of AoE damage in fight. Now we all know Divine restores health on top of the W combination, and if you run Triumph, you can restore your health after a takedown, and then you get the restoration from Bloodlust off of Sterak, and Death Dance is another item that can restore health. And then when you have all this in combination with Spirit, which increases all healing, and the shields that you have with your E, this is a beautiful combination and a great way to sustain in team fights. Alright, now I'm going to show you another creative way that you can play with Divine, utilizing the physical damage and health restoration in combination of something like a max shield build using the Thimble, Stoneplate, Sterak. So you get the restoration off the Sterak and the Divine in combination with W. And of course, if you run in Triumph, and then you receive the shield through the Stasis, all that combination. And then press the stone plate after the Sterak. So I'm just going to kind of give you a sense of what that looks like. So basically with Thimble, it activates when you Q, or your E and your R slow. So in a combination, you're going to get double shield from the Thimble and your E. And then later, after the Lifeline, you can activate the stone plate to get even more shield. And of course, when you dive in, you want to use the Stasis.
Hear thou our secret.
This just gives you an incredible amount of survivability in team fights because you're utilizing 4 shields basically. You got the Thimble, Sterak, your E, and then you got the stone plate. So you got about 4. And of course, you know, it's optional. You can throw in Spirit if you wanted to replace one of these items, and you'll still be incredibly strong. Now, as far as shield breaking item that assassins can run, um, they still have to work through multiple shields. So you got 4 shields that are kind of spaced apart. So they'll probably most likely break through the Thimble and maybe your E because they're kind of close in the same timing. But they still have to deal with the Sterak and then the stone plate combination. So it can still work. Alright, now I'm going to show you 2 clips of my buddy who plays Divine more than I do, so you can see how you can execute with Divine. So yeah, I hope you learned a thing or two about Divine. Comment below, let me know what you want me to talk about next, and I will do a video.